What is up, team? Welcome back to the Red Storm Rapid Reaction Podcast. Game 1 is in the books. St. John's takes down mighty Miss Merrimack, Mac, all dressed in black, by a score of 97-72. In what could only be described as a sloppy, rather lackadaisical effort in what might be hard to accomplish while scoring 97 points. But St. John's plays at a breakneck pace. They get out and run as advertised, as displayed last season. This year, maybe even kicked up a notch with the addition of Andre Curbelo, who had a very nice debut, with some negatives as well. He is very sloppy, but very exciting. And tonight we saw quite a bit of both those sides of the coin. Some electric passes really made plays happen, but also some sloppy turnovers, some careless plays, some boneheaded mistakes. The first play of his career kind of summed it all up with a nice steal, nice finish, and then an immediate technical foul for taunting, which perhaps was questionable, but still gotta control your emotions there. But he finished with 13 points, 7 assists, did have 5 turnovers. Posh had 5 turnovers as well. They combined for 12 assists to 10 turnovers. As a team, we committed 29 turnovers, if you could point to one negative tonight. Overall, it's that is a huge number, and it was a game where we were really never in doubt, but still we didn't do ourselves any favor, especially in the second half, running any sets, being solid with the basketball, learning maybe how to close out games. But once Merrimack closed to within 17 points, I should say, with about 8 minutes left, we did put our foot on the gas and push it back up to about 30 points and coasted to that win. Merrimack, they're 5 years into Division One, I think they said tonight. Obviously not a team that you could compare to the ones you'll see in the Big East season and hopefully throughout this out-of-conference slate. But still, I'm not going to be a guy who sits here and complains too much about a 25-point win when we score 97 points and it's the first game of the season. All right, there's things to be happy about. For one, St. John's is back. College basketball is back. For two, we've got talent. And that's obvious. David Jones, the other highly touted newcomer, transfer from DePaul. He shot the ball extremely well tonight. That is kind of all he did offensively was hit threes. He was able to get on the boards, which is nice, both offensively and defensively. He's an athlete. He's pretty a guy who's similar to Curbelo. Seems like there'll be a lot of peaks and valleys. The talent is there. The athletic ability is there. The skills are there. But he's a little bit sloppy. He's a little bit out of control. He likes to get up and down. And will he be able to balance that with solid play? Tonight, he was 5 for 12 from 3. All right, so a really good night shooting. He was 8 for 16 overall, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. So big contributions all around from him. Soriano inside, he was solid, finished with 12 points, 11 rebounds. He was 5 for 6 from the field. So, a solid game from him. He hit a couple jumpers early, couple times in the second half. It still was, I don't know if it's by design, and if it's not by design, then you really got to make a point of limiting him and, I don't know, putting him on the bench if he's doing it, but he's guarding guys past the half-court line when there's no one else in the backcourt, just a one-on-one pressure at the top of whatever defense we have. It happened twice, and then there's another couple occasions where we got beat in pick and rolls with him being the point of attack defender, and it's going to happen throughout the year. They're always going to go after him, but if you have him guarding the ball out past the half court line, that's completely on you. All right, that's something that can be completely taken care of on our end. Just don't put him in that situation. And if it's just him going rogue and doing it on his own, you got to make a point and a couple teaching lessons, because it's gonna just cause issues. But offensively, he was good. Montez Mathis played great. Okay, I don't think he had the biggest impact on the court bigger than Posh, Curbelo, or Jones, but in terms of just game I think he played a perfect game for his role. I mean, he was just so solid. I think we're going to start calling him Montez with his feet set Mathis, because when Montez with his feet set gets a nice clean look at a jumper, you feel pretty good about it. When he's not rushing it, when he's not forcing it, when he's got his feet set and he's getting a good pass delivered to him in rhythm, he's got a pretty good looking shot and he's comfortable taking it. As long as he doesn't force it, as long as he doesn't get too aggressive and overdo it, I think he can play a big role. And guys do get better. It wouldn't be the first instance where a fifth-year senior puts some things together and has an improvement late in their career. So hopefully Montez can be one of those guys and he can have a solid year throughout. I wouldn't, say it's a shoo-in that will happen just because he has a good game today and a couple of good preseason games. We saw a good, solid out-of-conference performance from him last year, and it didn't exactly translate to the same play in Big East. Whereas we saw Aaron Wheeler, who was a fifth-year senior, struggle early on in the out-of-conference and then come on really solidly during the Big East season and have some of his, without a doubt, best performances as a college player out of nowhere for St. John's. So it can happen, and here's the hope that it happens again with Montez. Posh was solid. Couple weird decisions. I thought that one time in the second half, he had a wide open three, decided to take it, and then forced the issue. We ended up turning it over on that play. And then he took a step back out of control three a couple of plays later. I didn't think there was good urgency, good purpose in the second half. Decision-making, chemistry, those are things we're going to have to get working on quickly this year. And if you play teams like Merrimack early in the season, even if you're having 20, 30-point leads in the second half, you got to take the onus upon yourself to run sets, to close out games properly, to take care of the basketball, to make good decisions. And from the players to the coaching staff tonight, we didn't really make a concerted effort to do that. So that's, one opportunity down. Obviously, I don't think we missed, I don't think we can be too upset with a 25-point win, but we didn't exactly shore up some things that will have to be shored up. Not to say I would have rather us win by 5 points in a close game. Absolutely not. You hope every game will be blown out victories, but with that comes a little opportunity to get better in certain areas, and we're gonna come across those areas. We know it when it comes to the Big East play. The bench, Wusu didn't really have a good game offensively. Had some good rebounds, played tough, had a couple of nice passes. Scared to shoot at the rim in the second half, gave up an easy look at the rim, passed it out to Stanley, who was up past the 3-point line or close to it. Pinzone looked all right offensively, jump shot, hit a three, hit another long two. I think he was looking aggressive, trying to take his shots. He's a step below athletically from a lot of the guys on the team, but he's got some offensive skill. Stanley did not look great. He didn't start tonight after getting starts in the preseason games and playing well. And it might have been strange, forget these guys are, human beings. So there's emotion and there's a player behind every decision out there. And to no detriment of his own, Curbelo got the start over him and played fantastic. So decision, rightfully made. You can't fault the decision. But Stanley, on the other hand, was probably thinking, man, I've been playing well. I got the start in two preseason games. Now I'm not getting the start. And then he comes in, has a couple plays go against him. We missed a really good opportunity to get him a good look on a 3-on-1 break where Posh threw it over his head. Would have got him a nice dunk, maybe get him, shake off the rust, feel a little bit better about himself. But he didn't have a great game. And he's got to prove again to coach and to the rest of the teammates that he's the guy to go to after Soriano in the big man pecking order, because NY's coming back from injury. Coach likes him. He didn't get much of a look tonight. And Keita, 7-footer, is a 7-footer, and he looked decent on the offensive end tonight. 7 feet, was able to catch and finish on a break. So, that's a big step in the right direction for a guy his size. If he can do that, then you're going to get a look. So we'll see how the competition shakes out in the front court. Kobe King does not look scared. He had a nice finish inside. He's athletic, he's quick, but it's going to be hard for him to get minutes behind Curbelo and Posh. And Storr, again, I like him a lot, but same thing. Wusu, Mathis, Pinzone, and you got Curbelo and Posh playing minutes at the 1s and 2. A lot of players, a lot of guys. It's a tough shuffle in there, in that mix. And some people are going to have to fall to that fourth spot in those position fights. And it's looking like the freshmen are starting the season behind those guys. They're going to have to prove themselves. It's a long way. Hopefully they're willing to put that work in. I like them both. I think they both got a lot of talent, but it's not going to be easy. I'm sure there's going to be nights where they don't get the minutes they think they should get. For the game, we shot 10 for 26 from three. That's a good sign. 5 for 12 from Jones. So without him, we were 5 for 14. That's still not awful, not fantastic. But overall, I think that's a pretty good number. One we should be pretty excited about. Merrimack was 6 for 29. Not a good percentage. They did miss some good open looks. They were getting some good shots from the corner, off the press. And that's what happens. You leave yourself open to that when you're full court pressure. And our press tonight showed both sides of why it's good and why it's bad. We were able to force a lot of turnovers, create a lot of baskets out of those turnovers, but we also gave up some good looks. We had some droughts and some stretches where Merrimack was able to go on some runs, and a lot of that is because, when you're playing pressure defense, you're going to give up some looks. You're going to get out in stretches. You're going to turn it over, and a lot of the same things you're trying to force the other team to do happen to yourself. But I think we could see the concerted effort from us in terms of pressure throughout the game, almost a full 40 minutes of trying to pressure the basketball, getting our guards out, and really, causing chaos. And Posh and Capello both seem extremely comfortable. We know how comfortable Posh is doing that, and Capello as well tonight felt like it was something he's really good at and comfortable doing. If we can cut back on our own turnovers while getting close to that type of production in terms of converting and forcing turnovers, we'll be in the right direction. But tonight against Merrimack, 25-point win. We did a lot of the things that you'd expect us to do. We got out early. We cruised to a high score. I actually put a little bit of money on Merrimack plus 22. Figuring maybe St. John's would, see what we did see for a 5-minute stretch late in the second half where I thought Merrimack might sneak in there and just lose by 17 or 18 points and I could get a double victory. But I'm fine eating the money and getting a 25-point win. But guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the guys who have subscribed to the YouTube channel. We're getting some better numbers there, trying to get to that 50 spot. But subscribe to the YouTube channel, tune in on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Let me know what you think. For Shamari Pons, this has been Pat Kane. Peace.